amateur video at the Apapa ports in Lagos, Nigeria captured an overloaded ferry sinking with containers. The batch ferry was transporting containers from Apapa to mile 12 when it collapsed under the weight of the load and sank into the water. Unfortunate images there. Joining us to discuss these headlines is Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu. Chika, you're very welcome.
How are you today?
I'm fine, sir. I'm fine, sir. How are you? Good to see you.
You had a good weekend, eh?
Yes, indeed. Very active weekend,
Yes,
Chika.
yes.
And speaking of a very active weekend,
Weekends.
we heard from the central bank governor.
Yeah. If today we are not the International Women's Day,
Yes.
I would have called this weekend the Diaspora Remittances
Indeed.
weekend.
Yes.
Because the focus was on again by the Central Bank of Nigeria on diaspora remittances.
Yes.
And one of the banks also ran a seminar. I think you anchored that
Indeed, yes.
seminar.
Arise covered it as well.
Arise covered it
Fidelity Bank,
on
yes.
the remittance. A friend of mine was asking me, say, why the sudden focus on diaspora remittances?
Yes.
And I said, that when you have a good salary, good earnings,
Yes.
and you don't look for vegetables from your garden. Either, because you are loaded, you can buy from anywhere.
Yes.
You don't remember you have vegetables in your garden.
Correct.
With oil prices very high in those days, FPI is pouring money into the economy. Nobody actually paid real attention to diaspora remittances. But there was, that's what they call it, the new oil for Nigeria.
Yes.
Because if you aggregate what has been coming from that, it's more than even the FPIs. And it's more than even the donor funds that have come to Nigeria. So it's a major source of foreign exchange. For a nation of 200 million people, various reports say that between 5 and 20% of our Nigerians are outside Nigeria, which tells you about 20 million Nigerians are outside Nigeria all over the globe.
Right.
And all of them have good taproots with linkage with the country. So they must always send money back to look after their families down there or make investments in those countries. And that's why the focus is on this. And unlike FPIs, foreign policy investment, that run at the slightest wind, out of the country, they stay. And so it's important, therefore, for Central Bank of Nigeria to focus on that. And what it's been doing there is to look at what have been the constraints or the things that, how can you boost it? And copying from what some other geographies have done.
Yes.
Because countries like Bangladesh, Pakistan, even India have had very robust, initiatives, incentives to promote this diaspora remittances. And that's why this CBN launched this Naira for Dollar program. Now, let me put it out there. Based on the CBN initiative now, one, all the remittances should go through the recognized IMTOs, International Monetary Fund Organizations, registered by CBN. So if you get your dollars in through those people into Nigeria, and you're allowed to withdraw, remember you're allowed to withdraw everything in cash.
Yes.
Or they put it in a DOM account.
Yes.
Nobody should pay you Naira for that. That's the CBN law now.
Right.
So for every dollar that your sender brings into you, they pay you 5 Naira for that. In addition, that's
right.
In addition. I follow let me correct some wrong impressions out there.
Okay.
The incentive is not because the owners of the money their money is being translated at low CBN rates. It's not that. Because you're allowed to take your money to go and change it, get the rate you want. The incentive is actually like an reimbursement of your costs. Because if you take $100 from the US, you want to send it to your brother in Nigeria, you're going to pay some cost to the MTOs abroad there.
Right.
So this is just to help to make sure that the people get, wholesome money down here. And so it's very compensatory. So it's a very good incentive. And I will commend, generally, it's been accepted by everybody that CBN has done these initiatives.
Fantastic.
And the countries like Bangladesh and Pakistan, where it happened, it has had very high salutary impact on the volumes of the remittances.
Fantastic. And with the central bank doing this and making sure that this money flows through official channels, how does it help in them tracking inflows in and out?
It's very, very critical. But that happens. But be that it may, if I were in CBN shoes, I have some things I would do.
Yes.
One of them is that I know the geographies in the world where we have massive clusters of Nigerians.
Yes.
I'm going to go out there. Okay, actually, I'm aware that CBN is supposed to have done this, but because of the COVID
things, right.
Go out there and hold town hall meetings. For example, go to Philippines, where the cluster of Nigerians. Why are they not using the official channels? Who are they using now? Is there any way you can bring the person that are using that into the official channels?
Right.
What are the limiting factors? And so you go all around there. What is the frustration of Nigerians, sending their money there? In addition to bringing the Diaspora Commission into this, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, you know how Nigerians complain everywhere about how embassies treat us.
Right.
You see, you've got to be happy with your country before you can bring money to your country. You're going to be treated well by your country. So all the embassies also must get into this, and CBN must champion this. And for me, so what I call is targeted marketing. Go out there, identify the clusters, make presentations to Nigerians, ask questions, find out why are they not using the Latin MTS now,
right.
Who are they using to bring the money? Because you see, the issue now is that there's no advantage using any other body, any other channel.
Right.
Because before, using other channels because you're being given CBN rate lower than rate out there. But now you're free to take your dollars and go out there and get the rate you want. So there's no advantage in using any other informal channel. It's better everybody brings the transfers into the formal channels.
And with the suggestions that you are making in terms of the embassies and so on, all this will encourage the Nigerians out there in the Philippines and other countries to now send them through the official channels, which increases remittances. Fantastic. Can I get your thoughts on this viral video we saw at the ports, Chika? It looks like, was the ferry being overloaded?
I think it's a transshipment.
Yes.
It's transshipment from the main ship to another, maybe one of these custom bonds, maybe my 12. And you know how it is, 34 sitting and 100 standing. Maybe that's what's happening in this overloading. On one trip, they want to maximize the whole thing. I'm sure that's what happened.
Yes.
Or poor maintenance of the vessels that are carrying these loads, because people want to cut corners. Safety, health and safety is a major. A lot of people don't pay attention to that in this environment. I'm sure that's basically what happened. And you know the cost again. People, if the appreciable goods now that fell into water, you can imagine what happened to them.
That was my next
question. If the electronics products,
please.
for example, they'll suck in water, all this, and Nigerians are not very good insurers. We always try to insure.
You've talked during the NSAS matter. You were talking about insurance coverage for products.
So they're going to, and so let's not hope that it won't be worse than it is.
But on the bright side, there's an electronic call-up system they've launched now, so hopefully that's improves things.
There are still frustration, there are still problems, but I believe that with tenacity, and with the governor staying the course, and the security agency supporting, Papa will have a new lease of life because they tested it the first 2 days of the initiative, and it worked for them.
Chika, what about, we have about a minute to go. The other ports on so on and so forth around the country, is there still an emphasis that we get those other ports competitive and not focus too much on?
There was something out there in the press that they want to move a lot of goods from Lagos port to Onitsha port through the Warri port, because of draft and stuff like that. Because they found a lot of the containers that are coming actually are meant for the eastern states.
Right. Yes.
So they will find ways of moving those containers to those places. And when that is done, we talked about the problems in the program. The shipping companies don't want to go there. The road networks are very bad. Even though the road networks are bad, people prefer to clear them from Lagos here and truck them to those places. Now, because they don't want to go there, the equipment they require to the shipping companies don't believe that no right equipment to offload the ships from there, and there's an issue of security also.
We hope it's addressed. Arise business analyst Chika Mbono, thank you for taking us through the Central Bank of Nigeria's new Naira for dollar scheme that launches today up until May 8th, and also our ports. Chika, thank you so much for joining us.